Hello student, this is Sir Shankar and today we will see and learn a new lesson of class 5 English from the unit 3. From the unit 3 we have seen in the last class and learned a poem Shadow, right? Now today from the same unit we have one more lesson, that is Robinson Crusoe. Robinson Crusoe discovers a footprint. So we will learn today a short story about Robinson Crusoe. He was been in an island staying for many years. He lived here in an island alone, okay, for many years because his ship has been destroyed by the wind. Okay, his ship has been destroyed by the sea. Okay, by the sea his ship has been destroyed, so that's why he had been alone for many years, and he wanted to be lived. He wanted someone with him, so he wanted a company. So one day what he did, he discovered a footprint on the bank of the sand, on the uh, bank of that sea. Then after that, what happened after finding that footprint, about this, we will learn in the story, in this lesson. So first, dear student, you begin. Before beginning, you be ready with your textbook, okay, and pencil wherever it is necessary. Wherever you think or I will say to underline, you can underline it. So page footprint, page number 48. I will make it zoom so that it will come clear to you. Okay. One day when I was going towards my boat, I was surprised to see the footprint of a man on the sand, and I stood amazed. I listened. I looked around me. I could neither hear nor see anything. I went up higher to look down. I went up the shore and down the shore, but it was no good. I could find no other footprint but that one. I went it again to see if there were any more footprints and to tell if it had been my imagination. But I was not mistaken, for there was exactly the print of a foot, toes, heel, every part of a foot. I could not imagine how it came there. I stayed a long time thinking, but became more and more confused. So, one day what happened, dear student? Robinson Crusoe, he found a footprint when he was going towards his boat, and he was surprised after seeing the footprint of a man on the sand. He had seen a footprint of a man where on the sand when he was going towards his boat, and he was very surprised and amazed also, and he listened, and he listened something he could hear, but no one was there. He looked around him. Robinson Crusoe, he looked around him, uh, but he could not, no, he could neither hear nor see anything. He could not hear also. He could not hear. He could not uh, see anything because there was no one. So again he went up. He went up to look down. If maybe from up it can be visible, he can see, no? So he went up. And again he went up the shore and down the shore. Up the shore also and down the shore also, both the side. Now, but it was no good. He could not find no other footprint but that one. Only one footprint he found. No other footprint. It was there was no any other footprint, only one footprint was there, and that make him more and more confused. He uh, just thought that it was just an imagination. So for that, to clear his imagination, if there was just an imagination for him, then maybe it's a imagination or a hallucination, we can say, no? Or just comes in a dream and just we make a believe that there is something. So he thought it, maybe it is just an imagination. But I was not mistaken, but he was not mistaken, that there was exactly the print of a foot. There was exactly what was the uh, mark was there, the footprint was there. Footprint was there, exactly. The toes is there, heel is there, every part of a foot was there. And now he can say that it was not his imagination, it was exactly. He could find that human beings, no, man, the footprint of a man. Then he stayed there looking and thinking, but it made him more and more confused. It made him more and more confused. Okay, it made him more and more confused. At last, what he did, he returned home very frightened. He returned home very frightened, looking behind him after every 2 or 3 steps. As soon as he walked home, as he walked towards his cave, where he used to live, no, he looked back. He thought that someone may follow him. So he was very frightened. Frightened means darna, by seeing that footprint. Then mistakenly, what he made every bush and tree to be a man. So wherever, when he walked, he found trees were there and bushes were there, yes or not? But he thought that these trees and bushes were there, like a man. He's thinking that they are like a man. They were standing there. It was his imagination. Now it is his imagination that he is making the tree, bushes, whatever he can find on the way. They are like man, like a man. When I came to my cave, which I call my castle, his cave, his house, we can say, no, I ran inside it. He ran inside his cave, then as if I was being chased. How he was running inside his cave, as if someone chasing him, someone like tiger or any other danger animals, no, or some other people, they are chasing. Just like that, he was running, and he ran inside the cave. I do not remember whether I used the leather or went in by the hole in the rock, which I called the door. I ran for cover faster than any animal could run. So he could not believe, then he could not say how he came inside and how he came so quickly. He was thinking that he compared that he was running like any other animal, even faster than the other animal also. And he did not sleep that night. That night, when he had the when he has seen that print, footprint, that night uh, he did not sleep. The more I thought about what I had seen, the more what he had thought, no, what the more he thought about what he had seen, the more afraid he became. I thought it could be one of the savages of mainland who had wandered out to the sea in a small boat. In a small boat. So he thought that it was some savages came. Savages means the wild creature, wild, primitive state, wild people, we can say savages. Bayana. Some savages, they came from the mainland who had wandered out to the sea in a small boat. He was thinking that savages were there, wild people were there, and for that he was very uh, what we can say, afraid. He was very frightened. Luckily then what he did, I was not on shore at that time, but what if he had seen my boat? If he had seen the boat, he would have realized that someone lived on the island and would soon return with others to kill and eat me. So he was thinking that luckily he was not on the shore at that time when the uh, savages were there. No, savages just visit on the island. That time luckily he was not there. But again he was thinking that what if he had seen his boat, if that savage had seen the Robinson boat, then what he would do, no? So that made him more frightened for Robinson. And he was thinking that if he had seen his boat, then he would have returned with some other uh, savages in another day and would kill him. Okay, he was thinking that he would come if he had seen his boat on the uh, island. And so I lay fearful for many days and prayed for protection. So he was laying there in the cave and he was praying for protections. Um, and in doing so, what I was much comforted and began going out to investigate. So when he was doing praying and all, then uh, again he thought that he must go and do a little bit investigation, chanbin, who they are or whether they have come or not. Now all these things they wanted to see. But even now I went forward, I looked behind me frequently because I was still very frightened. So whenever he goes, he look behind. Still he is very frightened. अभी भी बहुत डरा हुआ है. However, as I went about for 2 or 3 days and saw nothing, I became a little bolder. Every day he was going and seeing. 2 3 days he continuously he was going there and seeing, see, and he find nothing he find. Okay, then it became little bolder means bahadur, little confident. Made him little confident, and I decided to go down to the shore again and examine the footprint once more. So he decided to go to the shore, and examine, to check carefully, to see who's or to see about the footprint again, and decided to measure it with my own footmark. And he had decided that he should measure it, that footprint he found there on the sand, which is on what footmark. So as I came closer to the footprint, when he went closer to the footprint, Robinson Crusoe, he realized that it could not be his own footprint because he had not come to this part of the beach, right? So since a long time, he thought he measured the footprint with his own. Then he found that it was not his. One thing is clear, that it was not his because he did not come to that part of the shore. And one more is that, secondly, as he placed his foot along that footprint, it seemed larger than his own, and that foot mark that he has seen there on the sand, it's bigger than his own. And my fear returned again. He became frightened because it was not his. If it was his own footprint, then it would not make him that much fearful. Now I went I went home again. So Robinson Crusoe, he went home again, believing that there was someone there. He believed now there was someone. So the island was inhabited. The island was inhabited. So he thought that the island was inhabited. So this is what about this lesson. Some of the words, new words you are getting here. So savages, you can see. Your homework, today's homework, you have to write this. Okay, you have to write this word meaning in your copy and read this. Savages, wild people in primitive state. So this you will write. Mainland, large continuous extent of land. This is called mainland. Wander, go from place to place without a definite route. Bolder, that is more confident. Again, inhabited means dwelled in, someone who lived there, that is called inhabited. So at the end he thought that the island was inhabited, means someone was lived there. So this was what the lesson is. So your homework also you got already, you do this. Then after that what we will do in the next class, we will see the textual question answer. Okay, so today I stop here. Take care, do the homework, read the lesson. Okay, take care of yourself. Okay, so today I stopped here. Thank you very much.